Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks host the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Tonight at 7 p.m., it's soccer night, and kids glow around the bases postgame. Saturday at 6:30, it's Broadway night with postgame fireworks and Broadway rave. Sunday at 1:30, it's Military Appreciation Day, and the kids run around the bases.
A great day out for the entire family. Kids run the bases after every Sunday home game. Want the best seats all season? Get more Ferry Hawks for only $63. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
At this time, we have on, I love when I used to say full disclosure, like I'm embarrassed. I'm the proudest thing about this ever. My wife, my beloved wife, Lynn Shaw from Lynn's Warriors joins us. Lynn'sWarriors.org, Lynn's Warriors on YouTube, and Lynn's_Warriors on X. It's time, my friend, to wake up, parents, to wake up America. The hidden dangers of Kick and Discord and Roblox and other popular apps. And this, my beloved, June is Internet Safety Month. Welcome back to Warrior Weekend.
Thank you, Lionel. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, America. Let's get to it because this is such an important month to, shine a light on, again, Internet safety. We talk about it every day, but we've got 1 month designated where we've got it, throughout schools and camps, and everybody's talking about it.
Well, let us begin. What should we know? And on the, and you know more of these than I do. Regarding the hidden dangers of Kick, Discord, Roblox, which sounds like roadblocks, other popular apps. Yeah. The questions we have to do is, why are these apps attracting so much concern from child safety advocates?
Okay, let's start with let's have a little background. First of all, what we are talking about is such an important topic for every parent, grandparent, and caregiver. You need to understand what is going on. We live online. It is not going away. So we've got to get with the program. We've got to stand up. You buy your child a device. You got to take some action. We've got to sound the alarm because kids are spending hours a day on these 3 popular apps I want to call out: Roblox, Discord, and Kick. Okay, there are other platforms, but we're going to focus on these right now. Of course, these platforms can offer, opportunities to connect with kids your own age or entertainment, but they also, and this is what I want everybody to understand, expose kids to significant risks for the grooming, the exploitation, sextortion, inappropriate content, this predatory behavior, and contact with complete strangers pretending to be kids. And the thing, Lionel, I want everybody to know is that parents, the most common misconception when we talk to them is they think because a game or, an app is popular, it must be safe. So we got to break that apart because that is not true at all. Remember, we always say at the Warriors, wherever the kids are, so are the predators. So look, many of these platforms, they rely heavily on self-reported ages. It means a kid can check off a box, if it says something like, you must be 16 to use this game. They could be 11 years old. We all know kids are savvy. 30 and under have grown up with the internet. They know how to get around everything. And bad actors, can easily create these fake accounts with false identities as well and pretend to be kids, peers of actual kids. So
isn't there
yeah.
I'm sorry. No, isn't there a kind of a presumption of acceptance? People sometimes will eat things that they'll find in a bag because they say, well, it must be okay because they wouldn't be able to sell it if it was dangerous, and this over-the-counter product can't be a problem because, well, after all, they wouldn't be allowed to sell it. And the same thing goes for these games or these apps. If these really can't be bad because certainly if they were some kind of grooming tool, they wouldn't be allowed. That's not correct, is it?
Far from correct. And, look, This is not about fear. This is about awareness. We are pro-technology at the Warriors. We are pro-innovation. But what is going on is an American crisis. And parents must understand when their kids are spending this much time online. And again, there's parental autonomy. So it's up to you how much time you allow your child. We, of course, say delay is the way. Less time, especially in the summer months now. Kids are up from school, get back to the books, reading, get back to nature, go out and walk
no
the
screens.
Dog. Yeah, no screens. But again, there's parental autonomy. So everybody fights with, freedom of speech. I can do what I want as a parent. We have the studies now. We have the, doctors. We have the teachers who have come forward. We've got 30 years now of the internet. We know the harms that are being caused. And now we have AI being unleashed. But let me explain why I decided Discord, Roblox, and Kik are attracting more concern from a lot of not only the Warriors but other child safety advocates, groups, and organizations, because we talk about these things really 24 hours a day. We go nonstop because these three things, again, Discord, Roblox, and Kik, they connect millions of children. They are very popular, and teens, okay, with people they don't know in real life. So large numbers of children are gathering online. Predators see opportunity. It goes back to wherever the kids are, so are the predators. And again, these kids think, many parents think Roblox. Because I ask them all the time. I use everybody as focus groups. Is your child on Roblox? Your teen on Roblox? Oh, of course. Do you know what Roblox is? I don't know. It's a game. They collect Robux. They play with their friends. It's like coding. Nobody has ever actually, I've asked, given me an accurate answer. But Roblox, everybody, ROBLOX, is much more than a game. It includes, now listen up, everybody, chat functions, social interaction, user-generated content, and communication features, which, again, parents are seeing as a game. Kids are seeing as a social network. The distinction is important because, again, the predators can act as a child and start communicating with that child, okay? And they get them to go offline, into direct messages. This is what they're doing now. For instance, you're playing the game so well. Let me play with you. Oh, those kind of, flattering them and then moving them offline to the direct message, the DMs, everybody. And that's where this grooming process happens and happens quickly. And what makes, Discord, let's get on to, that's Roblox. That's like a gaming app, okay? Very popular. Millions of kids in America are on this every single day. So parents really should, and caregivers, family members, know what's going on here. Also, Discord is a messaging app. A messaging app. Why do kids even need that? But anyway, it allows users to create these private servers and communicate through text, voice, and video.
What do you mean, private servers?
I think you know where I'm going with this one.
Private servers?
Private servers. And also, again, so this is a direct with a child, or when I say child, I mean, 18 and under teen as well, but communicating also private servers, text, voice, and video. So, okay, we know some of it will be harmless. Private groups, though, can become difficult. Anything that's private, right? For parents to monitor. If you have a private server or text messages, videos that perhaps disappear and all that. So children, again, may be interacting with people whose identities are completely unknown. And I want to point something out. We don't need testing for all of this because we do a lot of focus groups. We speak to a lot of, high school and college students. Every one of them almost, Lionel, the hand will go up. They've been approached, sexually online. Girls in particular have been deluged with, images. Fake accounts have been set up in we are trying to, see what's going on out there. An adult pretending to be a 12-year-old to see what kind of reaction. And within seconds, you can't believe the horrible, and we're a family program here, the horrible content and images that are sent to what these people out there think are, hard to call them people, these criminals. I'm going to call them criminals. That's what I'm saying. Thinking it's a 12-year-old girl and what they're sending them. It is horrendous. Again, because that screen, everybody thinks, I guess, the screen, nobody knows who I am.
Let me ask you a stupid question. We're talking to Lynn Shaw from lynswarriors.org. Let's assume, God forbid, that I am a predator and I'm waiting. I'm a 68-year-old predator. I'm waiting. Now, how do I know from my end when people are on, or how does the predator know where? And I'm not trying to instruct people how to do this, but how does this work exactly?
What do you mean? You just follow the platforms. You just sign up. For instance, we talked about, Roblox. You sign up because, again, there's no verification. Okay, we'll get into that for a minute. You can say I'm a 14-year-old teen boy, right? And that's your profile that you've created. So then you start interacting with the other kids on there, or perhaps the other predators on there, okay? Because we have groups of predators. After the kids, they work, in tandem with.
You could have two. You could theoretically have two predators thinking each other one was 14. I mean, I'm not trying to be silly here, but so this is basically an open market. Let me step for, just for one. Let me just remind people, when we were kids, and I hate to say this because if I hear one more person tell me, well, when we were kids, well, we're not kids. The 50s, 60s, it's over with. It's Ward Cleaver is done. But it's difficult for people to understand that you worried about a guy in the white van. Somebody, the number of people. I can't believe the number of people who were attempted to be abducted when they were kids. Remember our mutual friend, the great Pat Cooper, wrote about how he was when he was a kid. I mean, that was kidnapping. Bad, terrible, scary. But that was a different story. This, you're opening the door to your child's mind, their body, as he or she sits in front of you, seemingly playing along innocuously or in their room, in your home. You've opened the door to your child. I don't think people really understand that. Do you?
Listen, I'm going to keep talking about this till I drop dead, because I do not understand what people do not understand. I used to say, well, I don't want to.
I like that.
I used to say, I'm not going to judge. Everybody's busy. Everybody's overwhelmed. There's a lot going on in the world. Well, I'm going to start judging starting today, because I am tired. We are fighting in Washington nonstop for our American kids. Why, Lionel, do we have to fight so hard for this? Why are we allowing, a free ride for big tech? We understand about innovation. We understand right now in Washington, they want to be global leaders with everything, because that is the playbook we are told every single day, okay? But you know what? At the same time, you can be a global leader and you can hold big tech a little bit accountable. And those people who come after us with the freedom of speech and this and that, where is the freedom and protection for our kids?
Exactly.
Why is big tech the only business where there's no regulation? There's nothing where they, we have safety features, they say. We do our best. They put out glossy PR, propaganda, things when a lawsuit's happening or something's going to come down. Basically, safety features don't work. They're too difficult for parents to enact. It is all BS. So it is up to us. People better wake up and become a warrior in their own home and communities to help our children, because they are stealing our children from us.
We're talking to Lynn Shaw from linswarriors.org. This is Warrior Weekend. Now, what is KIK? K-I-K. You got me there. What is that?
Yeah, KIK, nobody knows what KIK is, yet millions of kids are on it, K-I-K. Historically, it attracts a lot of attention, again, because it has an anonymous communication, a bunch of different features and concerns. Again, we have to go through this again. When something is anonymous, it's hard to track, or it's hard for parents to monitor. Okay, so parents should understand bad actors hide because it's anonymous. It bills itself as for kids. The tagline is like, make new friends with KIK. It's anonymous. Again, anything anonymous, you can imagine what goes on there. Again, because there's no real verification for the site. People are lying. Kids are lying about ages. Adults are lying, mixing everybody together. Therefore, you have predators. But something billing itself, make new friends. I use the analogy, and I know you're tired of hearing it, but we have to keep sounding this alarm. You don't leave your front doors unlocked.
Right.
Or if you do in this
Now-
day and age, you're stupid. But you don't.
Now, let me ask you.
Yeah, but we give kids devices and we don't lock them down, okay? People have to understand the analogy.